Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs, and welcome to the Mayhem Go Home show for the Lockdown pay-per-view, which is coming this Sunday. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. Once again, the general manager is still out sick, so he will not be here to introduce the show. But we did start with SDC making his way down to the ring, only to be jumped by Jaden. Jaden is already here, beating down SDC with a kendo stick. Well, SDC was getting some in-ring warm-up, or was about to get an in-ring warm-up before his match at the pay-per-view. Look at that spinning heel kick. And now he's been jumped by the man he will face in that match. And look at this, SDC teasing him, telling him to get to the ring, but Jaden has no interest. And these two, the rivalry is heated up between these two. The score currently stands at a pinfall each. And now both of these men trying to get the upper hand before the pay-per-view. And SDC has been watching Jaden run for weeks, and now Jaden's done running and started ambushing. Well, Jaden, it's always a game plan. It's always a plan of attack. He always knows what he's trying to do. And tonight he sends another message to SDC. But SDC refusing to receive it without reply. And now look at these kicks flying in from the hero of wrestling, and he takes him out of the ring. I'm sorry for still not 100%, but the referee trying to sort this out, trying to separate the two, trying to tell them to back off, but these two just can't seem to get their hands away from each other. Too much hostility between each two, and look at that suplex. SDC defends himself from the attack with valor. Well, I guess first up tonight, properly, is going to be from the tag team division. We were expecting to see a match for SDC tonight, but clearly that's not going to happen now, as SDC had to defend himself against Jaden. Things are clearly heating up there. And SmackDown, we have another Greek-style open challenge in the tag team division, as Damas and Black Jesus continue to build amazing momentum coming in to Lockdown. And of course, if you don't remember, Damas and Black Jesus will be facing in a steel cage tag team matchup for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships against Kazarian Xander and Patrick Green, the linebacks, at Lockdown, in what is going to be one hell of a tag team contest. They're going to have to fight hard. They know that, and they are prepared for the challenge, as they always are. Well, they have done so well this month. They've proven that they are worthy of a tag team shot. They've beaten the likes of Justice, of Up, Down, Down. And now, hopefully tonight, maybe a new team steps up to the plate, maybe another one, maybe someone comes back for revenge. Or they do face another tag team. And it's the tag team that knocked them out of the tag team tournament that prevented them from capturing a tag team title opportunity. It is Brett and Max, the Cutchells, who have started to rise back up the ranks of the tag team division, finally starting to get some work done. They're finally starting to work and gel back together as a tag team. Of course, they spent a little bit of time under Travis's domain, but Travis, of course, didn't quite have their goals and aspirations. These two with a very clear objective in life, and that is to beat the living hell out of anybody that they step in the ring with. And these two were a very fierce tag team because of it. They made the tag team tournament finals, where they were unable to get their revenge on Justice, who managed to pick up the victory against them. Hasn't exactly been the dream run out of the trial error for these two, but tonight they're looking to get back on track by knocking off the #1 contenders and potentially then going on for a #1 contendership shot themselves. Well, Xander and Green, they've pretty much beaten everyone there is to beat in the tag team division, including both these teams in this ring. But because Damas and Jesus have got the win themselves, that's why they're ready to compete for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships. And of course, last time the League of Gods and the League of Gods and the Linebacks faced, it didn't end in great circumstances. Coach Wilson had to get involved so much to keep the match going. He cheated at every corner. There wasn't anything that that man did not do. So that was a serious problem. Oh, look at this. Lovely little spin here with the leg scissors, and takes him down as a Hurricane Rana. pretty much nothing that he didn't do in that match. And as a result, the general manager confessed to being embarrassed and humiliated by his brand's tag team champions. And therefore, the League of Gods will be getting this opportunity at the tag team championships. And to be honest, it's been a long time coming for Damas and Black Jesus. They've been a dominant tag team here on the brand for quite some time. Beautiful teamwork there between Damas and Black Jesus. They've been going at it for quite some time now. Couple of months as a tag team, and the only real achievement is, of course, releasing their own fragrance, Damas by Damas. And, of course, that hasn't necessarily always been the... I'm not sure how much of a goal that probably was. Maybe for Damas it was probably a personal goal, but it's not really one of those wrestling achievements that you see yourself, you know, turning around and saying one day, what did you do in wrestling? Oh, I made a bottle of perfume, or deodorant, or whatever you wish to call it. And, yeah, so it's not exactly an amazing wrestling achievement, and that's what these two are looking for. They're looking to put their name in history books. Damas already believes he's the greatest Greek wrestler of all time, and he's looking to prove that by getting some tag team gold around his waist. And it'd be great to see Black Jesus as well, who's been trying so hard for so long to capture tag team success. He's been here since the trial era, Black Jesus. He's been in many a tag team as well, had a lot of tag team partners, and it hasn't found the right combination yet. However, I believe he's found a perfect one here in Damas. Damas seems to be the perfect partner for him. He doesn't really play much of a leadership role here, Black Jesus, but it's very obvious they don't need to worry about things like that, because Black Jesus, he can be the muscle of a group, and I'm sure he'd be fine with that, because exactly that's what he is. He plays to his strengths, and that's exactly what Damas and Jesus do. Damas uses his leadership skills and his wisdom and his confidence to lead the team, and then, of course, Jesus comes in to finish the job and act as a powerhouse for the team, which we know he's fully capable of. So Black Jesus and Damas have been working very well, and it's no surprise that they finally capture a tag team title. Haven't got off to the best of starts in this one, though, but the Cottrells, as we said before, won again last time out against these two. And, of course, it got them to the finals of the tag team tournament, where they went on to lose to Justice. And, of course, Lachlan and AD Nathaniel, one of the new rising stars in the tag team division. But I tell you what, if more makeshift tag teams come along like that, they could be in trouble. I'm sure the general manager doesn't want to just mix and match tag teams, but seeing the success of Lachlan and AD Nathaniel, he might want to consider trying to partner some people who maybe aren't quite getting the success they need. Maybe could use this tag team to, you know, bump up the ranks, maybe just to solidify themselves on the roster. Or maybe even just to help them capture some gold. I mean, that first piece of silverware is going to be so key for anyone's career. It doesn't really matter what type of title it may be. First piece of silverware is always one of the most memorable ones. Tagged back in comes Damas. And for the Cottrells, in the trial era, they tasted gold, and they tasted a lot of it. I believe they were 2-time, 3-time maybe, tag team champions. They really were a dominant fighters. They were really, really good in the tag team division for so long. They were a real threat to everyone. They just couldn't carry that momentum over with them out of the trial era. And as the teams got stronger, as WYW has continued, it's definitely produced a problem for them. And now the tag comes in. Brett comes in again. Brett and Max, the Cottrells, have been going at it for so long, trying to capture the tag team titles here on Monday Night Mayhem. They just haven't found the rhythm. It took them a long time before they even got a win. Never mind pursuing the tag team championships. So it's been a long road for Max and Brett. They didn't even try their luck on Friday Fight Night previously, as I mentioned before, teaming with their eldest brother in Travis Cottrell, who is the richest man in the business. And you'd think inherently that would make these two the richest man in the business, but they've made it very clear that they have no intention of using the money. They have their own way of doing things, and it's a very aggressive, very extreme style. Brett and Max capture that hardcore style to a T. Of course, Brett very much the powerhouse of the group. However, he's definitely not been in great shape coming out of the trial era. He's really struggled to carry the momentum. He used to be the leader of the team, the sole reason why they'd pick up all these wins. And all of a sudden now it's Max Cottrell who's been doing all the quote-unquote heavy lifting for this team. And now look at this, looking for a leg sweeping DDT. Very well done there by Damas. And this has been a very good tag team encounter so far. Pretty even. Neither side really breaking out to take the lead in this match. But Damas now. Damas thinking big to do just that. Damas looking to take things to the next level with an outside superplex. Superplex by Damas. Beautiful move. It's becoming a tag team match speciality these days. And it definitely does the damage. But look at this. Brett just shaking it off. And Brett and Max have shown a new side to them as of late in the tag team division. They haven't been quite as aggressive, I'd say. But they have been very, well, you know, wise. They've taken a lot of hits. They are a very strong team. They can take a hit. And Damas, what is he doing here? Damas trying to get the others disqualified maybe, and he doesn't want to do this, surely. They've spent so long trying to build up their reputation here in the tag team division. They can't afford to do this again. Oh, look at that. Massive DDT on the ramp. Oh, this is cheap. No. This is exactly what they were complaining about the others doing. And now they're going to do the exact same thing. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I was going to say, I thought they were going to do the exact same thing that Xander and Green tried to do to them. Instead, they reset the count. Just trying to keep it on the outside. Now, what is Jesus doing? And looks like Damas is going to let him do it, I guess. And it looks like Jesus just trying to keep him out of the ring, but look at that. Oh, look at that. Massive pop-up little splash there onto the apron, and Brett brings us back into the ring at the count of 7, I believe, was the reset count. Oh, and this. Now he's in trouble. Look at that massive backbreaker there by Brett. Raises his arm. Not a fan favourite. The Cottrells never have been. Not even their brother is a popular man. But they are very tough, very difficult men to defeat. And look at that. There's a nice scoop-up slam and a headbutt followed through. And the Cottrells, they have Black Jesus down for the moment. This could be the moment. Oh, no. Speaking of that, Black Jesus is back. But this could be the moment. This could be what they need. Oh, no. Brett going to get some revenge now on Damas. Looking for the outside superplex. This could be the moment of revenge. Damas. Oh, the superplex. And he even hits the legs on the table on the way through for added impact. And I told you, when a Cottrell is in the ring, when any Cottrell is in the ring, they'll do whatever it takes to destroy or dismantle their opponents. Travis maybe not so much encapsulates that, and maybe that's what they don't agree with. Travis has never had that really killer instinct, that killer mentality that his brothers do. And look at this, right now just double teaming on Damas and crashing him into the announcer's table. Oh, and look at this. Oh, just crashing his head on it as well. And that's the problem with, and that's the thing about the Cottrells. They don't, yeah, they have this killer instinct. Oh, look at this. Tag is made as well. Back in comes Black Jesus and a massive shoulder tackle. The powerhouse of the group for a reason. And you got the two powerhouses of both teams stepping into the ring right now. Max hasn't had much to do in this match. He's just kind of been sitting there watching his partner go at it, and he's probably had the best display he's had for quite some time here. However, did look pretty good in the tag team tournament. There's a massive elbow drop. Brett with a lot of weight behind him. Of course, significantly older than Brett, we are told. Significantly older than Max is Brett. And of course, Travis, the oldest of the bunch. But they are a formidable tag team. They just haven't found their feet just yet. But will they be able to find their feet here in this match? No, there's a spinning back fist. That's what we were waiting for. Straight into the cover he goes. Is that going to be enough to wrap up this open challenge? Oh, 2.5. And I'm not sure if Brett actually got there in time. I think Max kicked out on his own accord there. Just about. Oh, look at that. A massive jumping kick. And that's the agility of Max Cottrell, a natural cruiserweight. Hasn't had an opportunity to face for the Cruiserweight Championship. Of course, was part of the Money in the Bank match where he was more interested in killing everybody in that match than actually going on to win. Oh, no, not again. For a third time in this match, Max Cottrell's going to get one now. For the superplex to the outside. Oh, and it's a third outside superplex. It's a superplex party here in this Greek-style open challenge. But the question is, who can get the job done? Who's going to walk out the winners of this match? You'll have to find out. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Dormus, the new fragrance by Dormus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Monday Night Mayhem. Right now we're witnessing the Greek-style Open Challenge match between the Cottrells and the League of Gods, and Brett has just been tagged in and strikes with a monstrous power slam. But Dormus sprung back to his feet, only been met with a drop kick. Before the break we saw Black Jesus in control of Max. He tagged out, and now all of a sudden the control has turned as Dormus has also tagged in. But Dormus left now by himself with Brett Cottrell. Both Max and Black Jesus are down. This could be the opening that the League of Gods need. He's lining up for the elbow drop now. This could be the end of it right here. Brett's in trouble. Big elbow drop. And now if he follows it through with the greetings from Greece, he should be good. This could be the match wrecked up here. But Brett says no. Brett trying to do the damage, trying to get the job done. And now look at this. Oh, trying to spin him around. He couldn't do it. Jesus is the first back to his feet. That's big for the League of Gods. Trying to go for the jab. Couldn't do it. Up on the shoulders. Samoan drop. And he's managed to hold on with his teammate down on the apron. And a tough tag team encounter. It always is between the linebacks. It always is between the League of Gods and the tags that they face. But they do need to be a bit concerned, of course, because things are starting to slip for them in this match as these two line up for the fall of man. Can it connect? Yes, they can! Fall of man! The sweep of the legs, and the Cottrells could get this one. Brett, is he going to get there to stop like Jesus? No, he's not. It's a count of 2. And Jesus lands a cheap shot. The match stays alive at the count of 2, but the Cottrells almost had that one in the bag. The League of Gods just refuse just about surviving there. And now look at this. Oh no, not another one for the 4th time. And the 2nd one to dominance in this match. Superplex, inbound. Oh god, not again. Oh, Dormus might not even make it to lockdown with all these superplexes. Dormus and Black Jesus. Well, they've taken some hits over the last couple of weeks, but none bigger than what they're taking tonight. 2 massive superplex, and right now he's getting beaten down on the outside by both Brett and Max. Manages to escape Max, though, with a leg drag, but didn't see Brett behind him still. And now Brett's got him up on the shoulders for a rack attack, maybe. Just drilling him down into the rib cage. Brett and Max and Dormus both down, both the legal men. It looks like going to be tossed back into the ring here by Brett. Might want to think about tagging out if he can, but hasn't really moved. He's kind of lifeless there in the middle of the ring. And now being brought back to his feet. Back to the corner again. Surely not another one. Note this time just going to chop him down in the corner. Very nice work there. And we're now looking to fly as well. Beautiful little springboard. And into the cover. Is that going to be enough to put away Dormus? Oh! Nearly was. And that just shows how little life they have left in this match. The Cottrells dominating right now. Dormus, I wouldn't be surprised if his back is broken at this point. But he is still fighting on. He's sending a warning. Oh, look at that. Takes him to the outside. He's sending a warning to the team that they are scheduled to face at lockdown. And that is the linebacks who have been off camera for a while. They've been resting up. I don't know what they've been doing. Coach Wilson says they've been drilling into them what they have to do to beat them. They already know how to beat them, but now they need to do it without the aid of Coach Wilson. They need to prove that they can do it and they can take these two down because, of course, Wilson a big part of their win last time. And, of course, last time that Wilson wasn't there and they faced off, he actually, the League of Gods actually did pick up the win. And right now the Cottrells just ambushing him on the outside. Oh, and there's the ring apron being brought into play. Brett and Max, even an open challenge, even a match that doesn't really mean anything, they are still giving it 110% of their effort, doing everything they can to maybe injure Damus and Black Jesus. And now, near the ropes, where's he thinking? Oh dear, and there's that cultural family instinct just to do whatever is necessary. It's broken up though by Black Jesus. And Brett and Max just doing whatever they can to wrap this one up. But Damus still fights back no matter how many beatings he's taken. He's still going in this matchup. To his corner, needs to make a tag desperately. But no, he can't do it. Max doesn't let him. Brett doesn't let him, excuse me. And now Brett might make a tag of his own, but Damus says no. Damus says no. And now Damus, oh look at that, a little bit of riding the wave there and following through with a punch. Damus, of course, got to put on a show for everyone. That goes without saying. And now has him in the corner, trapped, tag is made. Oh, look at this! They might be ready to put this one away. Brett's in trouble. Greek bomb! Greek bomb! And into the cover. Is Max going to be able to get there in time to break it up? 2! Oh, and it's only a 2. Brett kicks out. Oh, he's going to try again, though. Black Jesus is going to try and seal it if he can. Oh, and it's still only a 2. Brett kicks out at 2, and it's a sharp kick out at 2 as well. Not 2.5. And look at that. All of a sudden, the tide turns again in this matchup. But all of a sudden, it's the League of Gods back in control. But they have taken their beating. They are definitely hurt, but they're trying their best not to show it. Playing to the crowd here, flexing. And now Irish whip to the corner. Tag again. And no, they're lining up for a second one. Max only just getting back to his feet. The second Greek bomb. Greek bomb. And into the cover straight away. Is that going to be enough? The referee took ages to actually count the cover. And it's another 2. Brett kicks out again. And Damus once again going to try for the cover. And it's a 2. The Greek bomb once again. Falling short. It's not doing the trick. And now look at this. Oh, just tossed in the air. And now he's in trouble. Brett's got him right where he wants him. His partner's down. But that's not going to stop him from landing the big blow. What's he thinking? Oh, and they're just slamming him down onto the apron. And into the cover he goes. Jesus, is he going to be able to get there with no interference from Max Cottrell? He does at the count of 2. And escapes the ring before Brett can get a hold of him. Well, what a tag team encounter this has been to kick off the show. Of course, we were supposed to be opening with SDC versus... we actually didn't know who he was up against. We were going to find out at the time. I guess we didn't get to find out because of everything that happened in between. Tag is made. Back in comes Max Cottrell, who... all things considered, probably isn't the freshest man to come in. But then again, who is in this match? And they both fly over the top rope with a clothesline. Max Cottrell, a natural cruiserweight. Of course, his brother, very much a super heavyweight, weighing in the 300-400 pound region. And they're a perfect blend, really. But they're not exactly the friendliest of teams. So they don't have many allies. So, they're kind of on their own, but that's how they like it. That's how they want it to be. They want to be away from everyone else. They don't want to associate themselves with anyone else. They have their own way of doing things, and it's worked for them, they believe. And now spearing him, ramming him into the barricade there before tossing him back into the ring at counts of 7. And what a tag team encounter this has been. Neither team giving an edge. All just trying to get this one done the best way they know how. And everyone's trying everything. They just can't seem to get it done. Beautiful Hurricane Rana there. And Max dragging him into the cover. And once again, going to use the ropes for leverage. But Max, it's broken up by Black Jesus. Well, now staring down Black Jesus as he walks away to make the tag. And the Cottrells getting a little bit frustrated here, a little bit agitated, you sense. And now going for the cover again is Brett. And is it going to be enough to put away Damus? Oh, and it nearly is as well, 2.5. And the struggle is real right now for Black Jesus and Damus. And they are really being beaten down. They need to be careful. They can't take this much of a beating because they've got a match, a huge match to come at Lockdown. They can't afford to get themselves injured in preparation for the match. But Damas with plans to end this one. Damas might have him. Look at this. He's got him up. Greetings from Greece. Greetings from Greece connects. Greetings from Greece. And straight into the cover. Is Max Cottrell going to be able to stop it? No, he's not. The League of Gods win. Unbelievable match. They had to be put through their paces in that one. The Cottrells refused to back down. But what a win for the League of Gods that was. They really had to fight hard for it. And they definitely got the result they deserved. But wait a minute. They're looking down the ramp because the tag team champions are there. Xander and Green saying they're coming for him. Oh, look at Damas. Damas not backing down. Damas refusing to let him get in their heads. And look, they're saying, you want him, come and get him. And they are ready for them. They have proven that they are the #1 contenders without a shadow of a doubt. But the question is, when the cage is lowered and the titles are on the line, will we crown new tag team champions in the League of Gods? Or will the Linebacks find a way once again to retain the titles? Let's move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, some final preparations from the women's division, as of course the very brave Catherine Albright is about to step into a cage with none other than Sandra Piper, the Mayhem Women's Champion. God rest her soul. But she believes that she can do it. She believes she knows the ingredients. She has what it takes to dethrone the champion. But right now, it's looking almost impossible to do that because she's been so tough, so dominant, that it's been just hard to even slow her down, never mind take her out. But tonight, Catherine Albright getting a warm-up to do just that. Of course, losing a couple of weeks ago to Adrian Reyes. And Reyes looking pretty dominant in that match. She can't afford to look like that again. She can't afford to give the edge to the champion. Or maybe that's what she's trying to do. Maybe it's a false sense of security thing. Regardless, she needs wins. And she needs them now to give her the momentum for when she does inevitably step into the ring with the most dominant woman in WIW. And that is Sandra Piper. Her opponent tonight, someone who knows fully well what Sandra Piper is capable of. And is probably the closest person to beating her and taking the championship away. Of course, we saw at Final Conflict these two go down. And unfortunately for her, the best she could muster was a count of 2. It is Laya Rose making her way down to the ring to compete again. She had a tough time out against Sandra. She had a great display. She was flying at the start. And right when I thought that she had done the big knee and that was it, and she was going to walk out the winner, a 2 count was the best that she could muster. And from there, she didn't have much success in getting herself another shot. Because Laya Rose, she's been building up to that match for ages. And it finally happened at Final Conflict. And she just couldn't capitalize on the opportunity she was given. Well, tonight, she steps into the ring one more time to prepare Catherine Albright for the task that she has ahead. And you feel Catherine Albright desperately needs this win to get herself some momentum for her Mayhem Women's Championship match at Lockdown. Lockdown is going to be one hell of a contest. There's going to be plenty of big matches, big fight feel for Lockdown. So many matches on the card as well. It's going to be one hell of a show. Excuse me. And I think I'm gonna leave a poll in the description of this. Not in the description of this video. I think I'm gonna leave a poll in the tab of this video. So if you click on the top right of the video, I believe, and you click the little icon, the eye icon, vote on the poll. Do you want to see, because we have a jam-packed show, do you want to see a pre-show? Do you want to see a couple of what are they called again? I think it's a pre-show. Yeah, pre-show. So we'll just do like 1, 2, maybe 3 matches on the pre-show, and then the bigger matches towards the end. I wasn't really planning to do that. But looking at the card, we've got a big card. Most titles are on the line. The only title that I don't think is on the line is the Television Championship. But even that that's really been subbed out by Jaden versus SDC, and so I don't know 100% certain. I'll ask you guys if you want a pre-show. I will give you a pre-show. I'm not sure we need one. We might do, but we'll have to see when time comes. But right now, we're just watching Laya Rose dismantle the fighter that is Catherine Albright. And the thing with Laya Rose, the reason that I guess her and the champ clashed heads, other than the title, was that they're very eerie similar. They're very strong fighters, very dark, mysterious. Laya Rose trying to use her, her mental, psychological advantage to the best of her well-known abilities. Oh, look at that! Look at a fly cross body. Doesn't quite connect. And quite interesting to see if she can deal with this tonight and what her game plan is going in to lockdown, because Sandra Piper, is not going to take it easy on her. She's been so dominant ever since capturing the Women's Championship. She didn't look great in the match where she did capture the championship, but she won the title nonetheless, and has held it ever since. And it's the same with Laura Stables on the other brand, except Laura Stables hasn't quite looked as dominant as the woman that is Sandra Piper. Went into the cover there, couldn't even muster a 1 count. And early days still in this matchup. For Catherine, it's a big ask to step into the ring with someone who's been so dominant. And now look at this. Submission hold applied here, and that could be the tactic. That could be the way to keep Sandra Piper down. It isn't going to be able to get Laya Rose done here, though. Still early days in this matchup. Well, we know that Catherine Albright is the right girl for the job. If anyone's going to take it down right now, it is Catherine Albright. She's been getting in the champion's head for weeks. The mind games have been playing back and forth. And Catherine has really proven herself to stand out above the crowd and act as a #1 contender would. And now look at this, looking for a neck breaker there, and a very sharp one as well. And Laya Rose not taking it easy on her tonight. She'd love another shot at Sandra Piper in the Women's Championship. And not many people left to stand in the way of the Women's Champion, of course. She's knocked off quite a few in her reign of terror that she has been on. And, of course, some people have even been choked out to unconsciousness and still in the recovery path. Rogers, if you're watching, God help your soul. Well, Laya Rose just dominating right now, and Catherine Albright just can't get going in this match. Oh, and a massive takedown. She might be lining up for that big knee to the jaw sometime soon. And now look at this. Oh, turns her around. Trying to get in behind. Oh, looking for a big German. Oh, and she connects with the fisherman, only to get a rope break. And now lining up for the knee. Catherine Albright's in trouble. This is not what she wants. She can't afford to have this. Coming into the pay-per-view. The running knee right to the jaw. And straight into the cover goes Laya Rose. Is that going to be the end of Catherine Albright? No, it's 2. She fights out, and that's what she needed to do. She needs this victory, and she knows that. She's not going to give it up easy. You know that Sandra Piper, wherever she is, she's watching. She wants to see what her challenger has to offer. And she can't beat Laya Rose, someone that she did knock off. She's not going to be in a great position to go on and take Sandra Piper. Catherine needs this win. She needs to do it to get the momentum. And now looking to bring her back up to her feet, Laya Rose. But she's finding out quickly that Catherine Albright isn't one to back down. And the champions found that over the last couple of weeks. But Laya Rose is definitely getting the edge of her in this matchup. Into the cover she goes. Is that going to be enough to put away Catherine Albright on the snap suplex? It's a 2. The crowd getting behind Catherine Albright here, trying to motivate her to move forward. But Laya Rose just being dominant, relentless. Just beating it down with elbow strikes. And now to the middle rope. What's she got planned? She's looking to fly potentially. Oh, went for a massive drop kick there. Well sidestepped by Catherine Albright. Clearly a fan favourite here in the women's division, trying to get her motivated. Of course, everybody wants to see who can finally defeat Sandra Piper. But right now, she's just struggling to get the job done herself. She's taken down there. Oh, for God's sake, are you kidding me? Some minor technical difficulties. Jesus Christ, man. Why? I'm trying to keep realism in this series, and shit like this just keeps happening. Oh, we good. She's alive. She's alive. I was about to reset. That was so funny. Oh my God. Okay. Back to the action. I'm gonna try and compose myself. That was funny. Okay, so the match continues. Oh god, my voice is going now. So the match continues. Laya Rose is going to try and go off the cover after that unique move. Oh, and nearly got it as well, 2.5. Look at her face. She looks almost surprised that she didn't do that. Playing statues for a moment or two there, Laya Rose, but she does survive in this matchup. She's been dominating pretty much from start to finish, but she can't afford to let Catherine Albright get back in control, because if she does, then things could be problematic. She's a big hitter, Catherine Albright, and she's definitely one to take a punch. She's definitely proven that right now, and that's what she's got to get across to Sandra Piper. That she's ready to take on whatever she brings to the table, and now lining her up, big kick to the gut, and now looking for that beautiful axe kick to the top of the head. Into the cover she goes. Is there going to be enough to put away Laya Rose here for Catherine Albright? No, it's a 2.5. Big kick out. Big kick out. She continues on in this match, and to be honest, Catherine seems surprised. I'm not. Laya Rose has been doing the majority of the beating in this match, not really taking that much of a punishment. A cover again, this time on Catherine Albright, and Catherine kicks out at 2. What a women's contest this has been. And you've got to wonder how much both of these women have left in the tank. Probably Laya Rose, probably one of the fresher of the two. That is probably for certain in my opinion. Well, now look at this, wrenching away on the neck. Almost closing her lips there, making it harder for her to breathe. And now look at this. Oh, some big shots here by Catherine Albright. Oh, look at this. She caught her though, into the power slam position. Oh, and just dropping her onto the ropes. And straight into the cover. We've seen this wrap-up matches in the past, and it's only a 2 here. I do apologise for the voice. That illness has still been spreading, and I'm still not 100% cleared, but we're going to have some commentary somewhere. Beautiful double underhook. Oh, and she went into the cover there, but Laya Rose's feet was just under the ropes. And the referee did well to spot that. Doesn't usually notice those ones. And it's not exactly something you'd want to hear about a trained professional. But Catherine Albright trying to provide as much fight back as she can. But Laya Rose, the former women's #1 contender, is really proving a problem for her here. Big kick to the gut. And now what's she thinking? Oh, look at that. Beautiful hip attack. Oh, no. Oh, for God's sake. She's done it again. I think we found another glitch move in the game. Oh, for God's sake. Laya Rose in her tactical stance. Freeze. Oh my god. What do you even say about this? What do you even say about this? People ask me sometimes, Darren, do you think it's worth getting the game? No, it's not. Fight continues, and it's giving Catherine Albright at least a fighting chance back in this fight. Catherine Albright getting really lucky here. It has to be said. Laya Rose trying to wrap this one up, but she just can't seem to do it. She just seems to freeze under the pressure and into the cover. Is that going to be enough for Laya Rose to capture the win? It's a 2, and you can see the frustration building on her. She's tired. She's taking hits, and she's been dominating the match. She feels she could have won this already. She just hasn't found that finishing blow, that final touch that she needs to put away Catherine. And now look at this. Oh, well counted. Oh, and for a big wrestling takedown there. Avoided by Laya Rose. And Laya Rose just been so dominant in this match. Sandra Piper must be questioning whether Laya Rose is trying to get herself back in the title contention. She's had her chance. And it is Catherine's turn. And at lockdown, she's going to have to face a much tougher task than this. So she better bring everything she has to the table to lockdown if she is to walk out the women's champion. But tonight she's trying to prove that she does have what it takes to dethrone Sandra Piper. But Laya Rose, look at this. Every time she breaks out of a hold and she immediately applies another one, it's a relentless attack. Just refusing to give in. And another hip attack. Yes, she connects. Will she follow through though? No, she won't. Oh, for God's sake. And slowly starting to get the feeling that this match is never going to end. Because she just keeps trying the same move, and this is becoming quite a vicious cycle for Laya Rose. Every time going for that finishing blow, and it's just not working for her. And it's just a problem that she's really struggling to deal with. And the hip attack connects again. And you've got to imagine that Catherine Albright is feeling the effects of these moves, but she just can't get the job done. Here is Laya Rose into the cover, going to get it done. Still a 2. She can't get it done doing that. She needs to try something else. She needs a new strategy. She keeps going for that move, and it's clearly not getting the job done. And now Catherine Albright crashing her into the turnbuckle. Now looking to fly potentially. What's she thinking? To the top. Oh, and a beautiful moonsault. Connects with the legs as well, cleanly. And Catherine Albright, despite being on the back burner for the majority of the match, might be on her way to wrap this one up. Looking for the axe kick to the back of the head. Connects. Beautiful axe kick. And straight into the cover. And Catherine Albright knocks off Laya Rose here tonight. What a victory that was. She had to fight hard for that one. She refused to give in, she refused to give up, and she continued to show why she's the #1 contender for that Women's Championship. She put up a great fight, tried forever to keep herself in it, and she had to fight the whole way through that match to keep herself alive, but she does, and Catherine Albright gets a huge win, giving her momentum into the pay-per-view, and I think Sandra Piper has sensed that as well, and here she is, the Women's Champion, coming out here to welcome and congratulate her #1 contender. But look at this, Albright, still with hype, still off the adrenaline of the last match, refusing to give in. Oh, and look at this, stomping away on the chest of Sandra Piper. And Sandra Piper, I think she's feeling it threatened now, intimidated, because all of a sudden Catherine Albright showing she can do whatever it takes to win, and she's not backing down from the Women's Champion here. Refusing to give in. Oh, look at this, well countered by the Women's Champion. Deceptively agile, despite even her massive size for a woman. And now look at this, the barrage of headbutts, and she's trying to give her a taste of what to expect at Lockdown. Sandra Piper sending a message right now to her women's #1 contender. Poor Catherine finally gets a big win under her belt, and hit with a tilt-a-whirl slam to follow. Well, Sandra Piper, she's looking unbeatable as of late, almost unstoppable. Will she be able to add another victim to the list at Lockdown and walk out with the Women's Championship? Or will Catherine Albright pull off the upset of the century and walk out as the second ever Mayhem Women's Champion? We'll have to find out nearer to the time, but it's time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, it's a tag team contest, but it's a tornado tag team contest here tonight. It's 1 fall to the finish still, but we are going to see some sneak previews here, I'd imagine, for what to expect at Lockdown. We've got two separate matchups in one here tonight, and you know we love to do these ones here on WIW. First man down to the ring is Mason Foster, and tonight he'll be teaming with the Cruiserweight #1 contender, James Rowley, to take on the Cruiserweight champion, of course, Jake Grifffiths, who will be competing for the first time since actually capturing the Cruiserweight title, and, of course, the European champion, Jax Wolfe, who this man will be facing in a steel cage at Lockdown. Remember, though, he will not win the title by escaping the ring. The only way to do it is to keep Jax Wolfe down for a count of 3. And the fan favourite Mason Foster, a former European champion, was unsuccessful in his first title defence of it, lost it to Skeens, but then Skeens loses it to Wolfe on a second defence. Mason Foster desperately trying to get back to winning ways, desperately trying to recapture that European champion. He wants to prove he's a dominant fighter, he wants to prove he's a dominant champion, and he's going to have a tough task of doing that at Lockdown inside the steel cage with the European Championship on the line, but he believes he can do it. Another man with a lot to prove at the pay-per-view, it is James Rowley, who will also be competing for the Cruiserweight Championship, but he's doing this not just to become Cruiserweight Champion, but he's also doing it for everyone in the Cruiserweight division for weeks now. Jake Grifffiths has been beating down the likes of El Estrella Chico, El Murpho, Oliver Regem. He's been beating down someone else. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Daniel Robertson, that's the one. He's been beating down for weeks both Mayhem and Fight Night Cruiserweight competitors in order to make sure that no one was there to challenge him at Lockdown for the Cruiserweight title. But James Rowley has stepped up to the plate, the winner of the Road to Glory, the first ever Road to Glory tournament. And I'm sure we'll be doing another one of those soon. Very popular in demand to do another Road to Glory, but this one this person right here will always be the man who captured it first, the first ever winner of the Road to Glory tournament. James Rowley tonight teams up with Mason Foster, and as I believe was mentioned in the interview, these two are actually very good friends. And if you haven't seen the interview with Mason Foster, be sure to go and check it out on the website, worldinternetwrestling.com. And tonight, here he is, Cruiserweight Champion Jake Grifffiths, coming out here to compete for the first time since his successful title defense in the rematch to Oliver Regem. Regem, we haven't seen in quite some time since losing it, maybe out of embarrassment that he couldn't hold it. He did manage to defend it against Travis, but then 2 weeks later loses it to this man, who becomes the second Cruiserweight Champion, but he promised he would. He said he knew this was going to happen. The Cruiserweight Championship was his destiny, and he knew that he had to take it when the opportunity arose. Of course, he wants bigger and better things. He wants more gold. He wants to be a Cruiserweight Champion, and maybe, I don't know, maybe a television champion, maybe a world champion. He wants to do it all here, and he believes that this is the start of his year, the year of the Burrow. And of course, he's already captured one piece of gold. What more can he do? What can he bring to the table? The Cruiserweight Champion, Jake Grifffiths, trying to show what he is made of. And he's been trying to do that by beating down people for weeks. He's trying to stamp his authority, trying to take out any potential threats to his title. And of course, that hasn't gone down well with the fans. He's not exactly a popular man, but I'm not sure he's bothered by that, because in his eyes, he's got less of a threat. He's defending his title, and he's doing it to make sure that he cements his legacy at the top of the brand. Final man down to the ring, the new European champion, Jax Wolfe. And of course, Brad Skeens not using his rematch clause. He's traded it in for a spot in the chamber, and of course, he made it to the chamber and will be facing at Lockdown for the WIW Championship. So for Jax Wolfe, he had a 3 roam, and he thought he might not have to defend his title, but Mason Foster called him out and then beat him on the same night to prove he was worthy of a European Championship opportunity, trying to get them Welsh flags back onto the side plates of the beautiful European Championship. But tonight, Jax Wolfe steps into the ring with him to get a little preview of what to expect at Lockdown. Remember, their match cannot end by escaping the steel cage. They must win by pinfall or submission, as the special rules that was applied to both of them. Well, the European Champion teaming with the Cruiserweight Champion. It's a classic case of champions versus contenders here tonight. Who's going to be able to step up and get the job done? Let's get this one on the way and see how this one goes. And look at this, straight out the gate. Beautiful suplex there from Jax Wolfe. And he's not done there. He's going for a second one as well. And now going for one more for good measure. Oh, this time spins him around for a variation of the suplex. And straight away, we're seeing the matchups that we will see at Lockdown. We've got James Rowley competing with Jake Grifffiths. And we've got Jax Wolfe with Mason Foster. And of course, fighting for their respective titles of the Cruiserweight Championship and the European Championship. And of course, these Cruiserweights, a lot of people probably didn't think that the Cruiserweight Championship would be as prestigious to the eyes of the WIW superstars. But it definitely has been. And of course, the general manager was worried about that fact when, of course, he did bring back the Cruiserweight Championship, that people wouldn't respect it as much, people wouldn't want to fight for it, and that it would lose prestige as it has in several other companies, which I'm not going to talk about. But it's actually worked out pretty well. Everybody's competing for it. Everybody wants to be Cruiserweight Champion. Everyone believes that the Cruiserweight Champion is going to mean big things for their career, and that's exactly what Jake Grifffiths has believed. He's captured his first title here in WIW, and it's the Cruiserweight Championship, and right now, look at this, getting danced on by James Rowley, who connects with a massive hook, and into the cover here, just trying to wrap this one up early here for Rowley and Foster. He's only going to get 2 when he caught the hand there of Foster. Well done, big slam. Beautiful start here by James Rowley and Mason Foster. 2 fan favourites, true talents. And of course, James Rowley, the winner of the Road to Glory tournament, now being backed up into the corner by Jax Wolfe, who turns his attention to him. And Jax Wolfe needs to be careful here because, of course, can't afford to give away too much of his game plan coming into the match. Of course, for their match, it is pretty much going to be just an ordinary match, just with the added stipulation that neither of them can escape the ring. And who that disadvantages, I'm pretty sure that would probably disadvantage more than anything, probably Jax Wolfe. Jax Wolfe likes to take things to the outside, likes to use the environment. But then again, we've seen, of course, in extreme conditions, Mason Foster knows how to step up to the task. Of course, winner of the first ever Fatality match against Lachlan, all the way back at the Fatality pay-per-view, and gets a 2 count here on the Cruiserweight champion, Jake Grifffiths. And Mason Foster and James Rowley off to a flying start. It doesn't matter what their matchup is, they both are in control of it. Jake Grifffiths and Jax Wolfe, the 2 champions, being beaten down by their contenders. And they got to be careful not to give them too much control and let them hurt them too badly. Because, of course, if they do leave the damage, if the long-term damage does happen, then that could really ruin their chances of defending at lockdown. Big inverted DDT. Meanwhile, James Rowley working away on Jax Wolfe. But now Jax Wolfe trying to take control back. There's a big exploder suplex. And all of a sudden, oh, look at that! There's the spinning heel kick! Spinning heel kick and into the cover. But Jax Wolfe's there to break it up. That kick that knocked out Lachlan in that Fatality match I was speaking about just moments ago. And now all of a sudden, oh, he's in trouble here. Rowley couldn't save him. Rowley couldn't save him. Foster. We've already seen plenty of these tonight. It's a superplex party. Oh, it's another one. Outside superplex taking out Mason Foster. And now, just going to continue to beat him down outside the ring. Meanwhile, inside the ring, James Rowley going to try and steal the win here. It's a 2 count. And now Jax Wolfe going to turn his attention to the Cruiserweight #1 contender. And all of a sudden, Jake Grifffiths and Jax Wolfe take control just like that. Turning the tide. Look at that, went for a shooting star press. Well dodged there by James Rowley. Mason Foster continue to be beaten down on the outside. That superplex really has messed him up. And what's Jake Grifffiths thinking here? Oh, and would you look at that beautiful move by Jake Grifffiths, the Cruiserweight champion, showing why he is the Cruiserweight champion. Jax Wolfe, meanwhile, keeping control of James Rowley, winning that matchup right now. Oh, look at this! Submission applied! Submission applied! Mason Foster! He got him! He got him to tap, and Jax Wolfe hasn't even realised! He hasn't even realised as he hits the splash. This match is over! Submission applied, and Mason Foster taps out the Cruiserweight champion just as they were losing control in that match. James Rowley and Mason Foster pick up the win. Foster had complete control of the champ there. The Cruiserweight champion didn't stand a chance against Foster. And even though Foster took some massive hits like that outside superplex, they managed to do it. They walked out the winner here tonight. The #1 contenders for both the European and the European Championship have got the job done, and you feel that both of them desperately needed that win. Well, they managed to work together here tonight to get the job done, but the question is, when they are on their own, who will walk out champions, if any? Will Jax Wolfe and Jake Grifffiths manage to recuperate and manage to defend their titles at lockdown against their respective opponents, or will we be crowning new European or Cruiserweight champions? We'll have to find out when lockdown comes, but it is time to move on down the rest of this card. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event of the evening, and boy oh boy is this going to be a good one. It is a 6-man battle royal to determine the order of which everyone will enter into the elimination chamber. How this is going to work, of course, it's pretty straightforward. Where you enter is where you will start. Where you get eliminated is where you will enter in the rumble. So, in the chamber. If you are eliminated first, you will start in the chamber. If you are second, you will also start in the chamber as #2. If you are the third eliminated, you are the third to enter into the chamber, etc., etc., etc. And it continues, of course, until the last man standing. And whoever's in that last pod is going to have a huge advantage. But the champion, Aaron Albright, probably with more to lose than anyone in that match, because, of course, he has the general manager breathing down his neck, worrying that he's not fit to lead this brand and that he might have made a mistake by allowing him to recapture his title from King Sam. But Aaron Albright is desperate to prove him wrong, desperate to prove what he's capable of, and desperate to prove why he is a 4-time WIW champion. But he has got some tough competition going into this cage match. Everybody's coming down to the ring in the order that they qualified in, not in any particular order, just to clarify. They're all coming down to the ring in the order they qualified in. And the second man to qualify, of course, who traded in his European Championship rematch for a qualifying match here in the Elimination Chamber and was able to cash in successfully. It is Brad Skeens who will be coming down to the ring here tonight. I believe, if I remember correctly, Skeens beat, I'm tempted to say Mason Foster for this opportunity. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think it was him. But, of course, this man, a former European champion, knows what it takes to hold the gold. Held it for a month or two. Held it for quite some time. Of course, he was champion at Mind Games, where he actually beat Big Willie. Of course, the title was not on the line on that occasion, and that might have been partially why, but he's one of the very few people to actually slay the giant that is Big Willie. Brad Skeens, he can do things that most people can't do, and of course that no submission hold of him has come in clutch so far. But when it matters at the chamber, will he walk out as the new WIW champion and become the first person ever to hold both titles in on one brand, or both singles titles at the very least? And that would be a great start, because you imagine Brad Skeens managing to pull that off in such a short space of time as well between the two title wins. Next person down to the ring in search of his first title, and what a big way to start than the World Championship. It is the real deal, Stephen Miller, and he's going to watch his back in this one because he knows Original Brad's going to want revenge. Of course, eliminating Original Brad on a roll-up in the European Championship 6-man Battle Royal, where Brad Skeens lost his title. And of course, he made it to the finals and faced off against Jax Wolfe. Jax Wolfe was able to beat him, but Stephen Miller managed to earn a right to qualify for the chamber and cashed in successfully. He's a tough old cookie, the real deal. So hard to beat and pin, so hard to keep down, and that's where people might be able to get him here. Might be able to just avoid the pin and just throw him out. And that's what people are going to try and do. Remember, it's over the top rope rules. Have to throw him over the top rope, and both feet must touch the floor in order to eliminate. Of course, Stephen Miller, as I was saying, needs to be worried because this man has definitely changed his tone as of late in an attempt to become a champion. He wants to conquer both brands. He wants to be the first person, well, he wants to be the second person now in history to hold both world titles. It is Original Brad, of course, the first ever world heavyweight champion, recently trading over to Mayhem for a chance to make things better for himself. Of course, the Wolfpack almost run him out of the place that he was at. Of course, I'm sure that he would have found a way to fight back and kept going, of course. But he was really on the back end of a bad losing spiral. But he's come here with a new attitude and a new sense of, of needing to prove himself. And tonight, he steps into the ring once again and looking to do just that. And remember, this is for the all-important thing. The winner of this match will enter last into the chamber. And what a huge advantage that is to anyone coming into a big matchup like this. And Original Brad is looking to do just that by stepping into the chamber. Hopefully, at number 6, we'll see what number he will go in, and I will say what number everyone is entering as we go along. I'm sure you guys will keep track, but just to be on the safe side. Next man down. Surprised a lot of people that he actually won his match against Bomber, but to me, it's not a surprise at all. It is one of the rising stars here in this company. It is the All Hart, Alan Hart, who has risen to the top after not a bad start, but not a great start either to his WIW career. But since Mind Games, he has become one of the rising stars of the company, and people are starting to recognize that the All Hart really does bring stuff to the table. Questions of whether or not he's related to the Hart family, unfortunately, I'm not in a position to disclose that information. That's for him to announce and to clarify for you guys. I can't tell you for certain. But the All Hart Alan Hart has risen to the top, and people are starting to take notice. So tonight, he needs to give himself a good chance by getting himself a good entry into this chamber and earning himself a possibility of becoming a WIW champion. What a big step up this has been as of late for Alan Hart. He's come a long way since his defeat to James Rowley, that is for sure. And now look at this, the final man down to the ring. These 5 men have never faced this man before. Robert Hall is the last entry, and no one was ever going to expect this man to be participating in this match. But after 5 huge wins in a row, he brings his own bike down to the ring, and Robert Hall is ready to go. He is going to be one massive massive underdog in this matchup. No one's going to expect big things out of him here in his 6-man battle royal. And look at Brad, he did not look impressed. Did you see his face? Look at his face as he sees another man coming down to the ring on a bike. And Robert Hall, ready to stamp his authority on this matchup. It's a big, big ask for him. Like I say, he's only just started to get back into the win column, the win section. So the question is, can he do it? Can he live up to the task? Can he step up to the plate when the big leagues are asking for him? He's been on a massive win run as of late, but he hasn't really proven himself for the big dogs. And tonight, he gets to do just that. Bell wings, and away we go. And look at that straight away. 2 people with the bikes colliding in the ring, going straight for one another, trying to pick up an early elimination. Oh, and Brad almost eliminated by the underdog Robert Hall here. Of course, Robert Hall probably won't see himself as an underdog, and no wonder Brad's going for Robert Hall's going for Brad. Of course, Brad, we know, with a very big submission weakness, very vulnerable to the submission offense. And of course, Robert Hall proven to be a submission specialist, a variety of different submissions as of late to pick up the wins that have got him here into this chamber match. And now look at this. Oh, a massive elbow strike. Nice combination by Robert Hall. Meanwhile, Steve Miller and Brad Skeens. No surprise to see those two colliding with each other. A little bit of history, of course. Brad Skeens, I believe, was eliminated by Steve Miller in the European Championship match. I may be mistaken. Oh, look at this. Alan Hart trying to pick up the upset of the century there by picking up the elimination. Remember, right now, the first person to be eliminated will start in the chamber. And look at this. Robert Hall begging Brad to get up, trying to eliminate him, trying to get rid of him. And Brad, I'm sure, will not want to start in this chamber. None of these men are going to want to start. But Brad is in trouble here. Serious jeopardy of getting eliminated already. Robert Hall is really bringing the fight here tonight. And I was worried if he was going to be able to step up. He's up against 5 tough people here. Of course, Aaron Albright, a 4-time world champion. Brad, the first ever world heavyweight champion. Brad Skeens, a European champion. Alan Hart, Mind Game Survivor Series match winner. He's up against a tough bunch of people here tonight who are not going to take it easy on him. And he needs to prove himself, and to be honest, he needs to show what he's capable of, and he can't afford to get eliminated first and start in the chamber. And he knows that. Big takedown there by Steve Miller. Meanwhile, Aaron Albright, with his own pressure to deal with, is really struggling to deal with the All-Heart here. Oh, look at this. Brad now under the cosh. Oh, and he tried to throw him over the top rope there as Stephen Miller. And Brad and Stephen Miller, of course, with their own beef. But right now, Robert Hall just wants nothing else other than to deal with original Brad. Maybe it's just because, you know, both coming down on the bike, instant hatred for one another. Brad trying to deal with Robert Hall. Robert Hall's in trouble, he's gone! Robert Hall, not to the surprise of many, I'm sure, is the first eliminated. Robert Hall will start in the elimination chamber. He's the first eliminated, so he will be entering in the chamber at number 1. And to be honest, I saw that one coming. I was worried that he wasn't going to be able to step up to the big leagues, and he has not got off to the best start. Hopefully things will change for him at the chamber. 5 men left. This is now for entry number 2, who will start with Robert Hall inside the chamber. The next person eliminated will be that man. And look at this, Albright trying to line it up, trying to make it original Brad. Trying to take him over there at the top rope and might be able to get him. And the All-Heart Alan Hart trying to help him. Brad's in trouble here, 2-on-1 situation. Brad could be gone, and he is. Original Brad and Robert Hall are starting in the elimination chamber. They are entries number 1 and 2. Brad double teamed there by Alan Hart and Aaron Albright, the WIW champion. And Brad does not get to start. Brad will start in the chamber at number 2. So now this is for entry number 3, the first man to come out of the pod. This will be entry number 3. And who have we have left? We have the All-Heart Alan Hart. We have the we have Brad Skeens, we have Steve Miller, and we have Aaron Albright. And Alan Hart, again, the big matches are coming in, and he steps up to the occasion. That's exactly what I've been saying about Alan Hart. Hasn't always had the results that he would have liked, but when the big matches come, and when he's asked to step up to the plate, he always delivers. Always. He hasn't been a disappointment. He might not always get the victories in those matches, but always puts on a show for the crowd and really shows what he's capable of. This is to be the first man in the pod, and now look at this, Albright lining up Stephen Miller, the WIW champion, looking for the super kick. Connects, no, he doesn't. Steve Miller sidesteps. Steve Miller sidesteps. They're trying to keep in control there. Oh, look at that. Big takedown there by Stephen Miller, who turns his attention to the all-hot Alan Hart, but Alan Hart did not take kindly to that one. Oh, Miller's got him up on the shoulders. Oh, and a big drop onto the knee. Meanwhile, Aaron Albright dealing with Brad Skeens, as he's been doing for quite some time. Of course, these two have been colliding for the whole month, really much, because they've been knowing that they've been facing each other in the chamber for quite some time. So it's no surprise seeing these two come to blows. And now look at this, Skeens trying to pull off the upset here, trying to eliminate the WIW champion. If he comes in at number 3, that's not going to be a great place for Aaron Albright. He needs to desperately defend at this pay-per-view, and he can't afford to lose it. And coming in at number 3 isn't going to help his case. Oh dear, Alan Hart's in trouble. Alan Hart is gone. Stephen Miller eliminates Alan Hart, and we are down to just 3. Alan Hart will come in 3rd into the chamber, and we're down to just 3. This is for entry number 4 now. So far, oh look at this. Oh no, wait for the tie driver. Oh no, well countered, and into a tie driver of his own. Tie driver to Steve Miller, and that's happened before, and Aaron Albright's done it again. And now Aaron Albright has Steve Miller right where he wants him, trying to get him in at entry number 4 if he can. And he's trying to beat him down, and he's really stepped up to the plate here to face Stephen Miller. He's really doing his best here, but Steve Miller proving to be a tough contest. And now into the corner, that's not where he wants to be. Albright's got him, he's got him, he's gone. Steve Miller's gone, and we're down to Skeens and Albright. Steve Miller will be entering at number 4 in the chamber, and Albright just tosses Skeens over. Skeens is in at 5, and the WIW champion picks up a huge victory here tonight, and he has secured his place inside the chamber at number 6. The World WIW champion, will now be entering at number 6. So that's the clarified order. In at number 1 and number 2, Robert Hall and Original Brad will start in the chamber. That will then be followed by, will that be followed by Alan Hart? I believe so. Alan Hart, Stephen Miller, Brad Skeens, and then the WIW champion Aaron Albright. And that is going to wrap up all the mayhems before lockdown. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.